Hey everyone, Tom from One Chance Tactical out here in the range, and we're going to run through a handgun drill that I shoot periodically. I call this one Lost in the Sauce. Some of my friends or alumni from classes that we teach that have come through, they like calling it 211. The way this is going to work, this is a method of engagement from left to right. We're calling them T1, 2, and 3. So T1 being on my left. The way this is going to work is going to be 2 rounds on the left target, 1 on the middle, 1 on the right. So 2, 1, 1. Second string will be 2 in the middle, 1 on the left, 1 on the right. Third string is going to be 2 on the right, 1 on the middle, 1 on the left. So total rounds fired is going to be 12. Basically 3 strings of fire tied into one, and it's going 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 12 rounds total. When I shoot this, what I'm really looking for is getting the gun out quickly, of course, staying plugged into the gun, connected to the gun, with maximum accountability. So I do this on steel. Steel makes you fast, paper makes you honest. On this one, we're definitely looking for some speed. So we're going to keep the steel out. A couple things to note on this. And anytime I approach a drill, whether it's mine or it's someone else's that I'm working on, meaningful goals that I want to set for myself. What might be a meaningful goal for me might not be meaningful for someone else. Whereas someone else, they need to slow it down a little bit. So that's why I like using shot timers. I know some people hate them. Me, I love them. I use them as a tool in order to kind of help diagnose what I am and am not doing correctly. So with this being 12 rounds total fired, if we look at split times, me knowing how I typically shoot, the average shooter, we're looking at right around a 20th of a second split time with a handgun, typically. So we're not talking about reaction, just straight up shooting. So we could typically put out 5 rounds in a second. So if we're putting out 12 rounds total, that should be approximately 2.5 seconds of total trigger time. Getting the gun out into the fight, what's your draw time? What's meaningful for you, again, might not be meaningful for someone else. 1 second. That's right. I get my gun out just under sub 1 second. I'm looking at right around the 80, 85, sometimes 90s. If I'm really focused, I can drop sub 70 sometimes. So I'll not give myself the benefit of the doubt, and we'll just say 1 second. So we got 2.5 seconds of trigger time, 1 second for the draw. Now we're at 3.5. Transitioning from target to target, back and forth in between, how we are kind of working cattywampus here, going left to right, middle, left, right to left. We're going to add in another second for that. So we got 2.5 for total trigger time, adding in a second for the draw, and adding in another second to actually work these targets back and forth. So my part time, so my personal goal for this and my personal part time is 4.5 seconds. That's why I like using shot timers. We can kind of diagnose, see what we are and are not doing correctly, like I just said, and we can also use them to kind of help set our own selves as shooters meaningful goals so we can actually accomplish them rather than trying to chase the coattails of someone else. Challenge yourself. That's what it's about. It's about you coming out here and leaving better at the end of the day. It's not you coming out here and trying to chase someone else who's just like at the top of their game, top of the industry. You want to challenge yourself, beat yourself, and ultimately leave the range better than how you showed up. So my part time for this is 4.5 seconds, and let me get some eyes and ears on, and let's make some gun smoke. So first run, we're looking at a 425 with a first shot of a .98. Let's do that again because it's just fun. Second run, we had a 4.11 with a 9.7 first shot. One thing I didn't say, we are 10 yards back. These guys are 1 yard apart. It's a pretty fun drill. I don't shoot it too terribly often. But again, if you guys go out to the range and you're working on this, use your shot timer, come up with something that's very meaningful to you. I like setting difficult yet realistic, manageable goals. And that's really the point of why we come out to the range. Again, so we can leave that much better than when we showed up. This is Tom from One Chance Tactical, reminding you you have one chance to get it right. However long that is directly up to you.